Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Meander Movie Podcast.
Who are you?
I'm not Gary. Neither are you.
You're not Gary.
Gary's not
Neither
here.
am I.
Gary's not here. He's still with us. We've not sacked him. He's just not with us right now because me and Gavin are going to do something a little fun for you.
Hopefully.
This is Gavin. I am Ryan.
I'm Gavin. Hi.
I
don't know. I'm waving like no one can see me.
Yeah. And why did you wave? Do you have a?
I don't know. I'm waving.
Do you have a fun name for this evening?
I am the wet grass out of my window, Gavin Stewart.
Okay, I'm still Ryan. And Gavin and I are going to try something a bit different tonight. We're going to invite a couple of our pals onto the podcast. We're going to have a few beers and we're going to talk about film. There's not really a specific topic. We're just going to have a bit of a Drunkcast and see what happens.
It's as everyone knows, we're all sitting about in our flats, our houses, bored out of our minds.
We've done so many quizzes. The boys are sick of being absolutely destroyed at quizzes by me.
You have won almost all of them?
I was made to host a quiz a couple of weeks in a row because you were sick of me winning every quiz I've played. I have won.
I wish this wasn't true, but it is. But yeah, this is just have some drinks with our pals, give them a chance to shine on our podcast.
Hopefully this turns into talk about music, talk about games. We're very much going to meander, I imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be a very loose episode.
Yes, and if you're hearing this intro, lucky you, because both Gavin and I don't see this ever getting released. But hey, it'll be fun if it does. So
play the intro.
It's meandering movies, listening to Gary, Ryan, and Gavin. It's all about films, but goes off course. Will there be arguments? Of course, 'cause everyone knows their lives are dull and they have nothing else to talk about.
It's a nice belt you've got, Connor. Where'd you get that?
What was that?
It's a nice belt you've got. Where'd you get that?
Oh, well, I got it. Well, I thought Tom was going to make some remark about it. Some Taiwanese market or some pish.
The Taiwanese market Gucci belt.
Well, I didn't go to Taiwan. I went to Vietnam, and it's no
Same
Gucci.
place, same difference.
Calvin Klein.
Exactly. Calvin Klein from Vietnam is a big difference from Gucci in Taiwan.
Absolutely. Well, I was in a motorbike accident. Did I tell you that?
What? No.
You've never mentioned it before, no?
Nah, not even 5 seconds ago when we done the first time.
No.
Not even then.
Nah. It was, well, I say motorbike, it was like one of those wee dodgy scooters you get, so not as cool. And I basically crashed into a tree.
So a moped?
A moped.
How did that result in you having to get a new belt?
Because it was quite a bad crash, mate. It was quite hefty, and it like snapped my.
Took the brakes off you.
Snapped the wee metal bit. What's the wee bit in the belt called? Actually, it's like the wee
buckle.
rod.
I used to
It's
know
on
that,
the
I don't
buckle.
know.
It's like part of the buckle, more specific than the buckle. It's like the wee rod, and it's kind of like it's basically doing all the work. It's like, see that wee bit it's the bit that you put
that goes through the hole.
Yeah, does it? Denny's know what that's called? No.
I thought it was
Why
called
would I know what that's called?
It's
I
called-
feel like that's like the most important part of the belt.
I think it's called an
Nobody knows what
aglet.
it's called. An aglet.
I think so. But that's no shit. No,
Or an anchor.
An aglet is the name for the hard bit at the end of your shoelace. That's not what that bit's called. Sorry.
Why do you know that?
Don't know. The bit that it goes into is called an eyelet.
Well, I feel like it's just one of those things that doesn't get enough appreciation. But that
Enough
like,
rate.
snapped a wee bit because it was like quite a hefty crash. So I had to go to. I pure fucked my foot for like 2 or 3 weeks.
How
I
did you
was, like,
find out?
hobbling
Did you
about.
jog? Did you jog to Pollock Park and think, "Fuck, I'm not jogging back. I'm just gonna walk."
I'm going to take the bike back.
So the first thing you get to this hospital and you're like, fucking hell, I need a new belt.
I went to. Well, it was bad. So I went to the hospital, and the guy thought I'd broken it, but I hadn't actually broken it. We'd done some X-rays, and then I had to move to like the city that I ended up living in, and it was just shite for the first few weeks because I was like hobbling about, and my pants were falling down as well. So.
Wait, why your pants?
Well,
Your belt doesn't go around your pants.
I think he's made in trousers. He's just been American.
I said pants. Aye, my trousers, my
Your
breeks.
Breeks were falling down. People must have thought you'd shat yourself.
People must have thought all sorts, man. Like, seen this, because where I was living, it was dead. Like, it wasn't touristy or anything. There wasn't a lot of like not non-Vietnamese people. So the only white person they're seeing is me walking about with my trousers and my ankles, like, hobbling about,
walking about
just
like Long John Silver. Right, so we've got to ask, to keep it on topic, if you've been watching anything semi-decent film-wise in lockdown. Because
before we ask if they've watched anything semi-decent, we should introduce who we're asking.
I was just going to do what people do in a conversation normally and just finish the question by saying their name out loud.
Nah.
Alright.
I want you to be to the point and specific.
Okay, well, we've got Mad Max Fury Road Conor McGuigan with us, who has got himself a wee gin and a tin.
It is, mate. It's not as good as, well, I presume it won't be as good as the first one I had. The first one I had was gin with chilli and ginger.
That sounds class.
With some ginger ale in there, gin and a tin.
What's that?
Pretty good stuff, mate. Don't know why I did. Well, now I've got passion fruit and coconut gin with pineapple juice.
Sounds not bougie.
It's not going to follow that.
It's like you're back in Vietnam.
Aye. And then we've also got Thomas. Thomas, what are you drinking?
Lager.
Just lager.
Just lager.
Good old.
Do you want to plug your
good
lager?
Old lager boy.
You love lager, don't you?
I do.
How much do you love lager?
Well, maybe it's too much.
When did the relationship start?
Yeah, it's a good shout.
When he was like 6,
I'm
probably.
actually pretty sure my first ever tinny was a John Smith's.
What?
No way.
How?
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
Why?
It's just one of them things that someone's obviously stolen from their mum and dad's house.
Some adult thought it would be funny to fucking make a right muggy, like, make that wee boy drink a John Smith's, that'll be funny.
Sharing 4 cans of John Smith's between about 5 years, yeah.
Your dad's like, I'll get the booze for you boys, don't worry.
Aye, your dad's trying to put you off drink early doors.
And he didn't.
Aye.
I love a John Smith's.
What are you drinking, Gavin?
I'm drinking a Pinot Grigio.
Oh, fancy. What year?
You know.
Every year.
Do you want to make the same joke? There we go. Make the same joke before we record.
Yep. Nice.
Yep, every year. I'm drinking it out of a wine glass that Ryan was lovely enough to buy for me.
You used to drink wine out of a half pint Stella glass, like a fucking...
It's true.
What, as in like the
I'm a boy
chalice
with
though?
class. Yeah.
That works
That's
out.
not that bad.
See?
I mean, I tell you didn't fill it to the brim.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just up to the wee golden brim of that beautiful Stella glass.
I think on the putting it out there as added information, you drink quite a lot of wine. Like it's not like you've just found yourself with a bottle. That's the thing you usually drink in the house, but you didn't buy a wine glass.
Because I already had the bottle of wine and I already had the Stella glass. I thought I don't need to add more to this. I don't need to make it more difficult.
Why didn't you just drink it?
Don't judge me for my habits.
I couldn't tell you the last wine I've had. I don't think I've ever really used a wine glass. Because I'm always drinking...
I've never seen you drink wine that's not Summer Berries Echo Falls.
No, because I'm drinking Echo Falls Summer Berries. I'm just drinking that from the bottle. You can't
also,
put that in a
I'm
wine
never
glass.
going to drink tonic wine out of a wine glass.
Yeah, true.
Thomas, you came to my house and my gran gave us dinner and she was like, just want a glass of wine? And Thomas was like, do you have any Echo Falls Summer Berries?
She didn't,
No, I've only got the tonic.
She had a lot of gin though.
She does have a lot of
enjoy a
gin.
gin right now.
I also have a lot of
And
gin.
what are you drinking, Ryan?
I'm drinking as advertised by Mads Mikkelsen, Carlsberg.
Is he advertising that? I thought he was classier than that.
No, he's just been like he's the only famous Danish person in the world. So.
But to be fair, the advert that he does it in does look classy. He makes it look good.
He does.
Yeah, he classes it up.
I remember, like, see when you're a wee guy and you see all the adverts and you're like, because Carlsberg have heavy class adverts and so do Heineken, and you're thinking
Stella have good adverts.
That'll be Dino. See when I'm 18, can't wait to neck some of that in the pub.
Aye.
And then
I don't mind a Carlsberg.
here I am.
I don't mind.
Why is it you've never seen an advert on TV for tenants? Think about it.
True.
You don't need to.
They know.
They've
mate.
already won.
They're one step ahead of the game.
Yeah, exactly. True.
You don't need to advertise perfection if
They
everybody already
advertise
drinking.
in Italy.
Aye.
Super tenants though.
It's weird that you just go into a bar in Italy and be like, can I have a pint? And they're like, give you a super tenants.
I've drank a lot of super tenants in
They would
Italy.
just hand it to you because that's like the prime stuff apparently.
What are they? Goodyear?
I was drinking drinking big bottles of that.
I reckon it's one of those Italian bam-ups though. Like, you know
Gratuitous.
how when all the Italians came over to Scotland, like when they all immigrated to Scotland in like the 50s, and everyone was like, right, go on, open up a wee cafe and make some of your class Italian food. And they're like, right, sound. And they started deep frying pizzas and Mars bars and all that, and they're like, right, there you go. And folk are like, is that Italian food? They're like, just like a mama makes it.
Dripping with grease.
Aye. And that's why kitchen roll was invented. Italy, for dabbing all their pizzas. Have you watched any good films in lockdown, Thomas?
I've not watched one. I don't think I've watched one new film.
Well, tomorrow will be day 54.
I've just got this reoccurring thing where I just watch the same 5 or 6, 7 films
We should
on
put
Netflix.
this out there. I've known Thomas for 2.5 years, longer than, coming up 3 years, and Thomas has watched Django Unchained 40,000 times since I met him.
So what's really annoying though? The only annoying thing is, see, every single time I want to watch, because in Django and Inglorious Bastards, I just like watching them all the time. I just can't get sick of them.
Those are probably my 2 favourite Quentin ones.
But see, like every single time I want to watch them, they're not on Netflix. For some reason, they're not on it. And then the second I'll get a shite stream, I'll go watch it on like 123 Movies or some shit like that. The next day
we
I'll
can't
get
say that kind of stuff on this podcast. People will hear that, Thomas.
Sorry,
we support Netflix and Prime. Pay for your movies,
Sorry,
kids.
after I rent them on Amazon.
Thank you.
I'll get an email on Netflix and it'll say something like, "Oh, here's a film just came in that you might like," and it's like Django. And it's like, I literally just watched that yesterday. Why now?
I think
they do every like.
Surely, why don't
Phil and I were looking to watch Snowpiercer, and it's been on either Netflix or Prime for ages. And we thought, oh, cool, let's watch it. We go into both. Gone.
Yeah, it's only when you want to watch it.
It's like,
it came off Prime like two weeks ago. I keep getting emails from Prime being like, "This is what's coming off Prime," and I made this huge list, and I think Snowpiercer was like one of the ones I just didn't get to of shit that was coming off that I wanted to watch.
Have you seen Snowpiercer?
I have not seen it. No.
Yeah.
It's
so good.
It's pretty good, aye. I've only seen it up until like the sushi cart, and then I need to watch the rest.
It just escalates in terms of fucking madness.
Bong Joon-ho, Chris Evans on a train one, right?
Chris Evans and Jamie Bell of all folk. You wouldn't expect that wee pair.
Nah.
And then Chris Evans had just come off filming Captain America, so he was still the size of a fucking tank. So he had to put a big coat on him to hide it. But you can still tell he's the size of a fucking tank.
Like the same in
tiny wee.
The same in Knives Out, where they just put a big fucking knitted
sweater
on.
Jumper on him.
I'd like to see Captain America and Tintin teaming up more often. Or Billy Elliot.
Just fucking launches Snowy across the.
Jamie Bell, your man from Filth that loves cocaine.
Yeah, Filth, cocaine.
Yeah, that's Billy Elliot.
There we guys, I love it, Ching.
Aye.
But see, the last time when I watched. When I put on Inglorious Bastards on like a streaming site, I won't say which one, but because it's a
you don't have to say.
But see, when I didn't realise it because obviously it has subtitles half the film.
Yeah.
And it didn't have any subtitles in the film, but because I've watched it so many times, I was like, I get it. I don't need to know what's.
Yeah. You know the general gist.
So basically, what you're trying to say is you've watched Inglorious Bastards so many times that you can now speak German.
Oui.
Oh, that pause was perfect. I was waiting for it.
Thomas,
go
show us 3 on your fingers. Oh,
nice.
Do we think we can guess the 5 movies that Thomas has been watching over and over again during lockdown? Because I think I know 2 at least.
Django?
No, Django's not came on anything, so...
No? Alright.
I'm going to say...
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yep.
Inside Llewyn Davis.
Have you had a wee notion to watch any of the Spider-Man films, Thomas, since you started playing the game?
I mean, you've been playing the game.
The only Spider-Man films I care about, and the only ones I'll acknowledge, is the Tobey Maguire ones.
Tobey Maguire ones. Mate, the second one in particular.
The second one is so good.
And I won't have anyone say anything bad about the third one. The third one is a good comedy.
It's that bit where he gets all gothy and that. But maybe like,
and he's dancing down the street to like
James Brown.
It's class.
I wouldn't even say it's a good comedy. I would just say it's tragic.
It's bad.
I love it. I love the old Spider-Mans.
What about the first one though? Because some people hate the first one. Gary, who does this podcast.
I also hate the first one.
But I love the first one. And Gary and Ryan hates the first one. Please tell me you two love the first one.
I don't think I can hate anything with Willem Dafoe in it.
It is hard, to be fair. Like, but also Willem Dafoe in it is really annoying because I've always said that Willem Dafoe would be like the best Joker in any Batman film, and they just didn't hire him. And he's like, you know what? Fuck yous, I'll just play the Joker in Spider-Man instead.
And then he just kept coming back every film. Like, I'm still here, guys. Still great.
No, just there's and like I think it's like Spider-Man 2 where there's just random scenes with Willem Dafoe just going
Yeah, he just shows up in the mirror and stuff.
Yeah, like, I think all the scenes were filmed in quite a weird place as well. Like they actually paid Willem Dafoe money, flew him out, put makeup on him, got him in wardrobe and stuff, and they're like, right, Willem, you know what you're doing? He's like, yeah, and he's like, basically just to give James Franco a fright.
I prefer the idea that they didn't ask Willem Dafoe to show up to do anything. He just showed up himself. He's like, hey guys, like, can I just be in this film? Like, no, you're not in the script. It's like, doesn't matter. Wow. And it's like, fine, fuck it.
It's like, Willem, you died in the first film. We don't need you again.
I like the idea that
he's like, Willem never dies.
I like the idea that they did tell Willem Dafoe about it, but they didn't tell James Franco. Like, they didn't mention it to James Franco. They just had him like not knowing, and then Willem Dafoe just pops out a cupboard. Yeah. What about you, Connor? Have you watched anything decent while you've been in lockdown?
Well, I mean, I don't know about lockdown, but I mean, obviously, I have watched some films in lockdown.
Don't know about lockdown, but I've seen a film.
I made so like recently. I've got all
made a
these
list?
films. No,
you prepared?
No, this was previous work. So this is like films that I've got and I've been meaning to watch for a while. So
this is the most effort anyone's ever made for this podcast.
I don't even make this much effort, and
this is previous effort, mate. This has nothing to do with this podcast.
Aye, right.
And I've scored off the ones that I've actually watched.
All right, you've got like a week to do.
I was sitting there this morning, just like
you've got a bit of a to-do list.
Well, last night I watched a belter. I watched a quality film last night. It's called Life is Beautiful, or to call it by its proper Italian title, La Vita è Bella.
Have
you seen it?
we just got a bit of culture in the podcast. Life is Beautiful. I don't know if
I think I've seen that.
Dino Man. It's kind of like,
what's a quick plot synopsis of Life is Beautiful?
Right, so it's kind of like, it's like a sort of comedy film set in like Italy at the sort of start of Benito Mussolini's dictatorship, and it's about this guy and he's just dead funny. And he has like, honestly, it's like pure. It's kind of like slapstick, but it's
the lead character is the director, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's
and he like basically gets this woman to fall in love with him, and they have like a kid together. So like, the first half is just him getting like this woman to fall in love with him. It's just quite funny and quite light-hearted. And then like when the kid's born, like sort of happens that this guy's like Jewish, and the Nazis come and all that kind of thing. So the Nazis take him and his wee boy away, but he's like basically he's trying to like, because he's this like funny guy, he's just trying to pretend to his son like it's a game. So it's like, so it is like continues to be really funny, but it's also like so tragic. I was greeting so much.
Nice. That sounds
good. It gets really dark and really sad and really emotional, but it's pretty. No, it's. I mean, you know, it goes from like really up here, top level, laugh out loud to greeting your eyes out, which that's
what you want.
Were you better than Thomas, and did you watch it on an actual streaming site, or did you illegally just download it and torrent it and send it to all his pals?
It was one film. One film I watched on it. I was just in the mood to watch Inglorious Bastards.
Like I said, I've had this film for ages, and I meant to watch it.
Nice.
So.
Well, I don't understand
it's
why.
In the bank.
Like, to be fair, right? So streaming sites are obviously not ideal, but I understand completely why people use them. But I do not understand why Thomas doesn't buy Inglorious Bastards. Like, you're like, I'm not paying a tenner. I'm not paying a tenner for a film. You've watched the film like 1 billion times. Just buy it.
You could even buy it digitally, and then you don't have a DVD or Blu-ray sitting in your.
But then a part of me also doesn't want you to buy it, because then I'll be like, have you seen this film? Be like, nah, mate, I own Inglorious Bastards now. Why would I watch anything else?
But the thing is, see, the second I buy it, I bet I won't want to watch. Because see, I've got the Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray. But do I stick them in the DVD player? No. But when they come on Netflix, I'll watch them.
The act of getting off your arse and putting them in the player.
Yeah, I've got Star Wars and Lord of the Rings on Blu-rays, and I'm never going to use them because I'll just find them on. I'm just lazy.
Do you know what I reckon?
It's £6.99, Philip.
Do you know what I reckon? See, it's
Thomas.
nice to have a kind of like physical movie collection. Not that I've got one, but you know, you stick that in your wall, right? And say somebody comes out in your house and they see one. Maybe you wouldn't watch them yourself, but someone else is like, "What? Is that film?" And you're like, "Aye, let's watch it," or "Do you want to borrow it?" or whatever.
Yeah, that is nice.
Then, like, you know, maybe it's like maybe you don't necessarily watch it straight up, but somebody else does.
And I think there's a lot to be
You've
said
got
for
Jack
having.
and Jill on Blu-ray.
But I reckon, like, if you went to Tony O'Neill's house,
Oh
and you
yeah.
saw,
Oh
like,
my God.
That'd be
all of
class.
his films, and you're like, "Oh, Tony, I've been wanting to watch that one for ages," he'd be like, "Aye, fucking, let's stick it on, man. Let's get it watched."
For the listener, Tony is someone we all used to work with, and he, well, yeah, not you say you were going to say every day on lockdown. Every day he posts a Blu-ray,
Aye, not
Right,
Sure.
three films.
and I've not heard of any of them. I think so far. I've heard of some.
I bet Gavin's heard of a couple.
He's a very
A couple of the French numbers.
eclectic. He's
A couple of Japanese, a couple of the Korean. I'm like, oof, yeah.
Well, I like
Just
he
something
goes-
to
he
get
goes-
along with.
Kurosawa, Gavin.
he goes through some phases, and he seems
I
to
love
be
it,
on
but
like
yes.
Japanese just now, and then he'll move into like Korean, and then he'll go into like Russian next week, and like he's got a class TV
He
collection.
just likes mental stuff.
That's
man.
like Gavin's porn history.
Did you ever see his?
I don't know how I can come back from that.
Right, boys, I'm off.
Good night, dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of films. Obviously, I'm going to try and just
A lot of
barrel through
adult
that one.
films.
Thanks, Thomas. I watch. I've got this wee site I like to go into. It's called Pornhub. We've got a lot of movies on there. I never make it through the first 2 minutes of each film, but I give it a go every time.
Do you pay for that, Gavin?
But Tony O'Neill. No.
Well, why are you giving Thomas and Connor a bad time for streaming their movies? You're streaming yours.
Yeah, but Pornhub
Mate, you
gives
know,
us
premium
those
is
videos out for
free
free.
during lockdown.
This is true. I do have the. I'm not going to go into what I have and what I do.
It doesn't matter what we say here. Gavin's obviously going to edit all the bit about him talking about porn.
Aye.
It's all going to come out of it. It doesn't matter.
I like BBC porn.
On iPlayer. Got to pay your TV license
The
for
BBC do porn.
Anyway, yeah, Tony O'Neill puts me to shame when it comes to movies because that man knows more about movies than I ever could.
it. I think we asked him on the podcast once, and he said, aye. That was it. That was as far as it got.
Did you
Yeah, I
give
was
him
going
a
to
time
say,
and a
you've asked
place?
a lot of people.
No, we've asked.
Look at
So far, we just got Andrew on, and that was it.
We asked you, Thomas, and you said.
No, don't
And I don't
say
know.
that.
I don't know why
I
we
thought
asked
say-
you, because it's clear you've watched one film
What?
in your life.
No, I've only
Two.
not. I just haven't had the attention span during lockdown. I actually do watch some good films.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes.
You watched Mother, and I was,
Which I wish I didn't.
yeah.
I don't know what I expected. It's one of them films. I don't know if I even watched the trailer, but I thought it was going to be something completely different to what I watched. Like,
It's so far up its own arse.
no,
And the ending is just.
I think the first half is so frustrating. Like, it actually makes me angry because it's just annoying, and the second half is
It's
just
just
mental. But I like it. The second half's mental, but it's just so mental. It's funny.
I guess
I
how you
just like how it's like done. There's baby stuff and there's yeah. Ryan, have you seen it yet?
Nope.
Connor,
Yeah,
have you seen it?
I watched it in the cinema. Actually, on Phil's recommendation. I think Phil was pretty scarred by it. But he was kind
Yeah,
of like.
Phil said that like the baby scene and stuff. Like there's like 3 times he wanted to just walk out of the cinema, but he just stuck it out. But
the
after
bit-
he's just like nah.
The bit with the baby, that was the kind of the bit that I just like kind of, what is happening here? What is
I've always
going
It's
on?
like
I've obviously repressed that.
I'm happy for spoilers if he's going to openly talk about it.
They eat the baby or tear up the baby and eat it, and
She eats a baby.
first you like there's like a crowd of people in this house, and then like they take the baby from her, and then you hear its neck snap, and then they start tearing it apart and wanting pieces of it to like have as their own, and then they start kicking the fuck out of her, and then they rape her, and it just gets out of hand.
did they rape
It's
her?
awful. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they rape her.
Do you know what's going to be really bad?
She's Mother
Do you know what's
Nature.
going to be really bad, Gavin, is if they didn't rape her and you added that in.
No, because
That's
I
weird.
literally, I'm pretty sure I watched it the most recent, and I don't think they raped her.
No, because like if she's
What
Mother
extended
Nature.
edition are you watching?
Thomas, you've got a
I was
twisted
watching the
idea
director's
of what
cut.
consensual sex is.
No, maybe. Maybe my laptop. No. Sorry, my laptop screen was fucked there.
Maybe
I say my laptop, it was Sean's.
we should probably put a disclaimer out for the viewers as well that in the time I have known Thomas, he's probably finished 20% of his sentences. You've got this thing where, especially the
I
more
feel
beers you
alright
have,
so far.
you just go like you're drinking. You're like, aye, well maybe, aye. I mean, don't ever say
Aye.
what you're going to say.
You always finish it with a wee aye.
It's honestly so funny.
Like,
So,
you
Ryan,
just-
what films have you
good
been watching?
I've
If you
watched,
want to find out what film
I've watched a
Ryan's
lot
been
of films. I've watched like 28 or something, which I don't think is necessarily a good thing. I think it's just the best one I've watched is I watched Snatch today. I've never seen that and gave it my full attention before.
That's a good one.
It's
I think
class.
Snatch is one of the films I think I've watched, but
Yeah,
no, I have
I
watched,
thought-
but I just can't. I can't really remember it.
I was saying, I was like, I've definitely seen it at like, I've gone to my pal's house and we've been having beers and we've put Snatch on, but I've never been like sat and watched it. But it's been on in rooms I've been in.
Yeah.
Aye, it's class.
How they got Brad Pitt in that movie
Aye.
for some reason?
How did they get him? How did they?
Speaking in a. Do you like dags?
Tipsy
Aye, it's so
Irish
funny.
nonsense.
Right,
Do you know
right.
Spud from Trainspotting's in it as well?
Yeah, because Vinnie Jones puts his head in a car door.
Aye.
Which one?
Spuds from Trainspotting. He's the one where
He
like
plays.
Vinnie Jones needs to find out what bookie's got robbed, and then he like puts the window of the car on his head and then drives along. But like
You
mainly,
talking to me because I've actually not seen this. I've seen this film like once.
like, mainly,
I can't remember one
Um,
scene except for the Brad Pitt one.
I watch all these films and I'm like, how did Vinnie Jones have a career?
No, but that scene with Vinnie Jones in the pub when he's got like the Desert Eagle, is it?
With the
He's got a
Guinness?
Desert
Yeah,
Eagle
yeah.
eye. It's like so fucking good.
Yeah.
He's so good in that.
No,
But how's he going from
Vinnie Jones' best film
playing
is
football?
Going in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, because he says fuck
He doesn't
all.
say anything.
He's mute the entire movie. Or what about what was that football movie he did?
The one in the prison
Yeah,
with Danny Dyer. What's that called?
I don't know, but
What?
that's not a good
Mean-
movie.
Mean-
Is he not
something?
in? Is he not in
Mean
X-Men?
Streets.
Like
Mean Machine.
3?
Mean Machine.
Machine.
Yeah.
Fucking that's a movie.
Yeah, he played
Like,
the Juggernaut in
eh,
X-Men. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Oh, so bad.
Well, Vinnie Jones did.
Yeah, Vinnie Jones was the Juggernaut
Yeah.
in the third X-Men film.
Oh, I thought you meant like the new ones.
No, Ryan
No,
Reynolds is
nah.
him in the new ones. In Deadpool.
Vinnie Jones wears like a big latex muscle suit,
Oh, yeah.
and it just
Yeah, because
and
at
it-
first you were like
it-
impressed by his muscles and you're like, nah, it was all made of rubber.
It also glistens too much.
Yeah.
They sprayed it down too much.
Vinnie Jones, what a guy. I was googling Vinnie Jones's wife.
That's cheating.
Alright, I
I'm
forgot
not,
this
I'm not
isn't
doing a quiz. I can Google if I want.
This is like the first week we've not done a quiz. We've decided to record ourselves.
To be fair, I spent a good few days trying to figure out what we could do instead of a quiz on Friday. And I
And
was
you came up with karaoke.
No, well, that was a joke. Kind of.
Your
Depends
karaoke
what
idea was
your thoughts
Karaoke
on.
last Saturday, it was alright.
Your karaoke idea was us watching you sing.
For 3 hours.
Is that so bad? But I was trying to look up big murder mystery things, like a big game of like Cluedo online, but there were like 70-page PDF things on like making up invites and all that. Everyone wearing fancy dress, and I just knew you wouldn't.
I would have
commit.
done it. I mean, as long as the fancy dress was a suit, then sure. Like,
No, I was thinking, like,
I feel
the
like
Wild West.
our fancy dresses are quite
Wild
limited.
West. I've got a good cowboy hat down. I've got a good, well, it's a treasure hunter's hat really, but 6.5 dozen really, isn't it?
Aye, who's gonna know?
I was thinking we could have done like Dungeons and Dragons, but then I also thought the mental annoyance to try and set that up.
Also,
would just
who's
wouldn't be
gonna
worth it.
who's gonna dungeon master that?
Well, I was going to try and get Gary in because he does dungeon mastering, but then he's always busy.
He does
so
a
we can't
quiz,
get him.
yeah.
Well,
And
to
I'm
be-
not doing it.
To be fair, last week Connor was like to Ryan, my mate's been doing Dungeon and Dragon. Ryan, do you maybe want to start up a new one with me? Ryan's like, yep.
Oh, and I forgot.
And I'm sitting there
I was heavy
in the
pissed.
chat. Yeah, but
Just right there, they can
I
see
just didn't
you.
think it would be your thing.
I mean, it's not, but you could have at least asked.
I remember when we first walked out the munchkin, you're like, oh, fuck's sake, man, fucking gay boys, man.
Right.
That's a
And now
spot
you're an
on
addict.
Thomas impression.
Yeah, you are like that, and now you fucking love it.
I do.
Now you become the angriest person whenever we play
Oh, he's the
Munchkin.
angriest person
Yeah.
whenever you play anything. You should watch him playing any game. It's so funny.
To be fair, played Scrabble just before this.
To get beat.
Yeah, that's pretty
You're any
angry
good at
about it.
Scrabble, Thomas?
I'm actually really quite good at words, mate.
Aye.
Like, they're throwing down zone,
Bit of a
and I'm throwing
wordsmith.
down ozone and all that.
Mate, that's not.
Your autobiography should be I'm actually quite good at words.
Actually,
That's your
actually,
autobiography
quite, actually
title.
quite good at words, mate. I was watching. I've just watched quite a lot of 8 out of 10 casters countdown today. Smashed out a couple of 9-letter words. Got a conundrum. I'm happy.
So another thing we could do during lockdown is those Netflix movie watching parties.
Oh, they seem a bit
I
mad.
don't
Like,
see the point in that.
I think if I'm going to watch something, I want you to shut it. Like I
Yeah,
don't like.
why the fuck would...
Yeah, but we
What
could
to
stick
watch?
on like absolute trash, like a Wedding Crashers, and then watch that.
What do you mean?
Whoa.
Whoa! What do you mean? Absolute trash?
Whoa.
That's what
What are you trying to say about
Thomas' top
Wedding
five.
Crashers?
Hold on a minute. It's got an all-star cast, an absolutely amazing soundtrack, excellent booby scenes. Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson steal the show.
Excellent booby scenes.
The first 20 minutes of Wedding Crashers are iconic.
How many times would you say you used to have watched the Wedding Crashers?
More than
I don't
10,
remember
less
actually
than
watching
100.
You don't
Thomas
have to answer
watches
at the
until
same time.
they spin them onto the bed and then he turns it off.
No, you mean I rewind it and watch it again.
There is, like, Connor, do you have the same weird Wedding Crashers fascination that these two do?
No, I've never seen it full way through.
He does then.
It's not a weird. It's actually not. I'm not saying it's amazing, but there's just something about the bit where they're singing and dancing to the Isley Brothers shout. It's just fun. You're up for it.
I mean, you know, fun can be what you
Subjective is out.
Nice.
want. Yeah, fun can be subjective.
I just think it's like it's probably like the first big boy movie I watched with boobies in it and that, and it just
What about American Pie?
It's quite late on, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I used to watch like quite like Gavin films at that age. Like do you know when Wedding Crashers came out, Gavin, off the top of your head?
I'm going to say 2000.
2006, I reckon.
I'd say 6.
Aye.
Ryan, you're the expert Googler if you want to Google
Okay, whatever.
it. Can't even win a quiz at this point without Googling.
Do you always treat me and do the podcast?
Gavin doesn't.
Do you not know these
Don't
things?
know a lot about films and Google it all.
You were both right. Technically, one said it's 2005.
So
Oh,
we're
sweet, there
both.
you
So
go.
technically
But also-
we're both wrong, actually.
Yeah. But also, I don't think Connor's like that's quite late. I mean, it came out when I was 10. I don't think that is quite late.
Aye, but your first booby film, I think I watched my first booby film when I was about 7.
Oh, sorry.
I think Predator 2 was my first booby film.
Aye.
Fair.
Yeah, there's a scene where like there's two people just fucking going at it in a hotel, and then the Jamaicans show up, shoot the place up, and then Predator
How
kills
early
them.
were you watching
And I
Predator?
just remember
Gavin?
I was probably like 7.
Mate, there's so many reasons why you're so fucked up. You watched all these films. You're like, well, we were talking about childhood films in the podcast once. Gavin's like, Hellraiser?
It's a great Saturday afternoon, like chill out kind of movie when you're like 10. You just put it
Hellraiser is the
on.
type of film that you'd see in the corner of Blockbuster, and your dad would be like, "Nah,
Don't even think about it.
don't you dare." Thomas, Space Jam's over there.
You were looking at the cover and it fascinated you, but you weren't allowed it.
Yeah, I've still never seen it.
It's got.
Why does the guy have stupid pins in his head?
Because he's from hell.
He's the Hellraiser.
Aye, and he's also
He writes-
he's not the best one either. There's loads of them, and he's like the worst one.
Hellraiser.
And then there's like fucking 10 Hellraiser movies.
What was your first horror film you watched?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Or Alien, actually. Then Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
How old were you watching those at, Gav?
7, 8.
Mate, it's mad that you've not killed anyone.
What were you watching as young lads that you had on repeat?
I was talking about this today. Maybe not young, but see like 12, 13. Fucking Dodgeball. See the movies out of that time.
yeah.
Oh, aye.
Like see like
Oh,
your
aye.
Wedding Crasher films, your Blades of Glory and all that. Dodgeball is still the best one. 'Cause I think you grow out of the Will Ferrell stage. Like
Yeah, I
you
think-
realise that he's just the same guy over and over.
I think I bypassed the Will Ferrell stage because I didn't like Blades of Glory, and I didn't like Talladega Nights or anything like that. But I liked Vince Vaughn and like Owen Wilson. Don't know why.
Ben Stiller in Dodgeball is one of the funniest people.
Yeah.
Why is Vincent Vaughn so appealing to like 12-year-old boys?
Yeah, weird.
Because he's literally so shite, man. He's got nothing going for him.
No, Vince Vaughn's a class actor.
Fucking cynical, not even funny cunt.
No, mate. See now he stopped trying to do comedies. He's class in serious films.
Perhaps he is, but I'm talking about why was he so attractive to me when I was 12?
Oh, no idea. That's between you and God.
That was the idol that you looked up to. That I could be like Vince Vaughn.
I could hang
out
person as well and somehow get a hottie at the end of it.
Aye, he's also your favourite character in Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
Vince
He
Vaughn?
is the best character.
Aye.
No, Jeff Goldblum's also number one.
Is he in
And
Jurassic
then
Park?
Yeah, he's in Lost World.
Yeah.
He's called Nick.
To be fair, I actually watched the first Jurassic Park, not for the first time, but I don't think I've seen the second or third Jurassic Parks.
What?
Or maybe not.
You only need to see the first two.
Is the second one even good?
Aye.
Yeah.
It's class.
I just
Spielberg
remember
came
like,
back
when I
and
was a wee
directed
kid, I just remember watching like the wee bit at the start where the girl gets like the wee
Fucking mauled.
I thought that was class and that was all I needed. That done me. So.
That's plenty done. Boobs off.
Yeah.
You're like, perfect. You didn't even know Vince Vaughn was hiding in there.
I
somewhere.
think The Lost World is as good as the first one. There's a bit where the truck goes off the end of the cliff and that. It's dynamite. Julianne Moore's really good in it. Jeff Goldblum's the main character.
Spielberg's there.
Yeah, it's
You
good.
keep on saying Spielberg, Gavin, we get it.
Yeah, Gavin, we know you know.
We get it, he
Spielberg.
comes back for the second film.
It's the only time he ever came back for a sequel. He did it.
Wait, you're telling me Spielberg didn't make Jaws 6?
He was thinking about it. He was like, but instead I'm going to go make Saving Private Ryan instead.
Did he not make Jaws 2?
No.
I actually couldn't even
Remember
tell
earlier
you
when
if I've seen Jaws.
What?
You must have seen Jaws.
Thomas, see if you just
I
stop
think I
watching.
watched it a couple of years
see if
ago.
you just stop watching Inglorious Bastards for 1 second.
It's true.
Jaws is pretty class, man.
See all these films that you're meant to see. I just
Haven't.
can't.
Here, speaking of like booby movies that when we were kids, did you all like Austin?
We stopped talking about booby movies ages ago.
I know, but then you brought my head back to it because you said Inglorious Bastards. I thought of Mike Myers, and now I'm thinking of Austin Powers. Did you like Austin Powers when you were young?
Nah.
Aye. I used to stick that on all the time.
Did you all like
Class.
run around in
I
school
thought it
and
was-
quote it?
No, see,
I didn't quote it, but I thought it was class. When I was
Like the
about
whole
10,
fat bastard character.
11. I didn't like. I only liked the first one. That's the only one I had in video.
I've actually not. I don't remember watching Austin Powers when I was younger, but me and Sean just got into it like maybe last year. Just started watching them because they're awful, but they're funny.
It's like good physical, like visual comedy sometimes.
But it just reminds me of. See, I think I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, but in my work they have like different playlists
Oh
for
yeah.
like whatever.
In my line of
And
work,
in
As
a
a
pub,
bartender.
in a pub where I
For an
work. But for some reason,
unidentified bar.
when football's on, they have a sports playlist. And the sports playlist got your typical. It's got Eye of the Tiger. It's got fucking, I don't know, We Will Rock You and all that shit. But every like 4 songs, the Austin Powers theme tune comes on
Is that just to see people
for no
notice?
reason whatsoever.
I just like someone's put it in there at some point saying, "Oh, let's see if anyone notices this." And clearly, everyone is too fucking pissed and shouting at the TV to even care that Austin Powers is happening. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Fuck it, we'll just leave it."
But I love it. It's quite funky.
You should start adding songs to see what you can get away with.
I've tried to ask that 100 times. They've not realised. So I'm like, oh, so how do you do the playlist? And they're like, oh, yeah, you just do it over here. But only they get the hint that I mean, can I pick songs for this?
Yeah. Why don't you just ask?
Can you just put on the Thomas Barber Spotify
Are
playlist?
you quite good at playlists? What would you say? What would you say is your best film soundtrack?
Almost Famous.
Better than Shrek
Almost
2.
Famous is good.
Almost Famous is good.
I was actually trying to think. You put me under pressure. I tried to think of something cool. Definitely Shrek 2.
That is going back again, obviously, to booby moments in films. Nothing beat Jennifer Hudson in that big long coat dancing around that hotel room with a bottle of champagne in her hand.
see how I was saying that my first booby moment when I was 7. I think that might have just been the first time I heard boobies mentioned in a film.
And what was the film?
And I think it was What's the Adam Sandler one where it's like about American football?
Longest
Waterboy.
Yard.
The longest.
Waterboy.
And he's like,
I was
she
gonna say
showed me her
Longest Yard,
boobies and
but-
I like them too.
I don't like
Something like that.
I don't know why. Like, I feel like I used to pretend to my pals they were like, "Oh, we're gonna watch this Adam Sandler film," and I was like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, "Haha, it's funny." I didn't like it. I liked Happy Gilmore.
Oh, you're so cool, Ryan.
No, I just didn't. I just didn't like those films.
Have you heard about Matt Damon? I learned this today.
He's
that
in
Matt
Ireland.
Damon was in Ireland. Yeah, he was filming something, so now he's just phoned into
He's
radio
stuck,
stations.
he's stuck in Ireland. Yeah.
And people are trying to find where he is to hang out with Matt Damon.
Yeah,
What,
I'm
he's
pretty
there
sure.
now?
Like, yeah, he's stuck there
Yeah.
now because he can't
What,
leave.
because of the pandemic? It's a lot of shit.
'cause he was there
He's not stuck
He
there.
was
You can obviously
I like the idea
fucking move. There's still flights and shit.
Yeah, but I don't think he's like. I think he's quite happy there. But I think it's quite this
So
weird
he's
thing
not
that, like,
stuck.
yeah, true.
You can't be happy somewhere and say you're stuck somewhere.
I
we
think,
should get Matt Damon on this podcast.
I don't think Matt Damon's going to come on the podcast for the fact that
He's phoning in Irish radio stations. Why can't he come on our little Scottish
because
podcast?
we're not an Irish radio station. I thought he had because I thought he had a family and stuff like where he lived, and he refuses to leave Ireland. He's just staying there for the whole lockdown.
He's went into full Boston mode.
I think he was filming Ridley Scott's new film with Adam Driver and Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Adam Driver are all stuck in Ireland.
I think it's like a film with knights and horses and
This is-
sword fights
I
and
love
armor.
that shit, man.
Because I think
Adam Driver looks great.
like Robert Pattinson did a really great GQ interview.
See his pictures for it.
Yeah, because he had to take all his own
They were so
photos and they
class.
were dynamite. Like he was like, oh
Did it
yeah.
make you a wee bit jealous?
He's like, oh, I'm stuck
About
in
how handsome.
I'm stuck in this flat in London.
Handsome and talented.
And he was talking about how he's like stuck in London. He's like, oh yeah, I'm in isolation. I'm in this flat in London. I'm like, you're not from London. Like I know you
It's
know
not a big struggle.
you now live in LA, but I'm pretty sure your hometown is near London. Like you're not stuck there.
But also Robert
I
Pattinson.
mean, you could always go back home. That's the thing with like Matt Damon, like stuck in Ireland or just want to be in Ireland.
But he's probably in a decent. He's in a decent gaff. Like, I wouldn't
Of course
say
he
for
is.
Matt Damon is definitely not stuck in Ireland. He's probably
Yeah,
got.
he's Matt Damon.
He's probably got a few
He's
things
chosen.
going for him.
He's like chilling out in a wee cottage. He's maybe there with the wife and kids. He's got a bottle of whiskey. Or maybe there's no wife and kids and he's got a bottle of whiskey, even better.
And he's probably got.
he's just like, fuck it
yeah.
up.
Does
And
Matt,
he's just
does Matt
watching
Damon have
Good Will
a wife
Hunting on
and-
repeat.
A wife and kids?
Of course he does.
What do you mean? Of course he does. Like it just. I don't know. He may not.
Okay, then he's just doing charity stuff.
I'm gonna Google it.
Of course you were. Wait, no, I can't make that. That's a joke to a previous episode.
I know.
Oh wait,
what,
the one person that said, "Guys, don't quote anything back to the previous episode. We don't know when this will come out." He's the first person to go, "Oh, that's a callback."
Thomas, this is only your second time being on the podcast, but as Ryan knows all too well, I make rules and then I just fucking break them anyway, because this is a cowboy situation where I just get to fuck around.
Yes, he does have a wife and 3 children.
There you go, see, I told you.
Yeah, but I don't, they don't know if they're in Ireland.
Well,
But that's like,
good on Matt Damon for
the
surviving.
thing as well with Robert Pattinson's, he was like, yeah, the Batman people send me all my food, they pay for the apartment and stuff. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, that's not a thing you need to
He
put
was
out
taking all
there.
these selfies and stuff as well, sitting by these huge bay windows. I'm like, it doesn't look that bad, mate. Looks alright. Which to be fair to him, he didn't say it was awful. He was just like, I felt like
I'm
the way he
here.
was talking about. I think he was generally mentioning that all his stuff was in LA, and he was in England. But I was like, you're from that country. It's not like you're stuck in a weird country.
You can order every single thing you own probably on Amazon, and it probably won't make a dent.
He's also got a lot of money as well, so see if he wants something, you could probably just buy it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, last year was a successful year for Robert Pattinson and all the movies he was in, so yeah, money's no issue. Plus, he's a handsome fucking bastard.
Want to spill your beans?
Why just?
That was my Willem Dafoe impression.
I'm sure if he really wanted to, he could send anyone he knows. Like, he knows people in LA. Just post them your keys, and they can just post you your stuff from your flat.
As long as, well, I mean, I'm assuming yous are all similar to me at this point. We're just kind of sick of all the celebrities during lockdown doing celebrity things.
Like the Gal Gadot singing Imagine.
Yeah, the whole Gal Gadot singing Imagine thing, or just like them sitting in their big mansions, just being like, "Oh, we're getting through this together, guys." And it's just like, you have a maid service and a pool, and you can sit outside and like, shut up.
Sorry, I just feel did I pronounce Gal Gadot Gal Gadot? No, or did I do the wrong way around?
I'm pretty sure it is pronounced Gal Gadot, is it not?
No, that's what I meant. Yeah, I said Gal Gadot. I didn't mean to.
Gal Gadot. That's like how a 2000 Scottish football commentator would pronounce her name.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Like
Gal Gadot just come
when
onto
Ali
the field.
McCoy's pronounced Morel. He's like Alfredo Morelos.
That might be the first football joke that's ever happened on this podcast.
That is the first, and here comes the second. That
Oh.
I honestly see when I'm sad. I just watched that video with that wee boy opening his football cards, and he's like, "First we've got a Celtic player." And he's like, "Shuk Nakan Maru," and his dad's like, "Shunshuki Nakamura, you fucking doughball."
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad's the best bit when he's just like, "Sorry, Dad." No, he says, "Okay, Dad." Okay, Dad. That's it.
Okay, Dad.
Aye.
What's the longest you've ever been without watching the film Inglorious Bastards?
Yeah, a few weeks.
A few weeks. You taking a piss?
What?
What?
Well, Thomas has just admitted the longest he's had without
No,
watching
maybe not a
Inglorious
few weeks,
Bastards
only.
is a few weeks. Do you always watch it all?
No, like I don't watch it all the time. I just get in the mood to. I just like Inglorious Bastards and Django are just the two films that I could just watch again and again. I just think they're easy to put on. There's
I don't think I like Inglorious Bastards that much. I think I've maybe only seen it once though.
I love
Oh,
it.
that's good, man. I feel like Nazis are just very good.
They're the best bad guys.
They are the best bad guys. They're just really easy to, and you can make them like kooky, you can make them serious, you can make them silly, and there's the whole thing that they're actual like
The
real.
worst cunts on earth.
Yeah,
real bad guys.
Real's good as well.
Aye,
like-
and it's kind of, it's
I
a
mean-
good bad guy, and maybe it's a bit of a trope, but see to keep, I don't know.
I mean, what's annoying right now is in the living room right now they're renting Jojo Rabbit.
Have you never seen it?
I've seen it with you.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
two went to see it together.
But
I met you in the pub afterwards.
We've been talking about renting it for ages, and then they're watching it. They were going to do it last night, but I was too busy playing Spider-Man.
You might have a problem.
Did you like it?
Aye,
I loved it.
I loved it also.
I thought it was healthy, man.
Yeah, it's really good. I watched a lot of Taika Waititi films since. I've not watched Boy. I watched Thor.
That's the one I watched, isn't it?
I thought I didn't know he had more than that in What We Do in the Shadows.
And what We Do in the Shadows, I watched the first time, and I watched Hunt for the Wilder People as well. That's class.
I showed Phil What We Do in the Shadows for the first time like last week or the week before, and literally that film starts. I've seen it like twice before. It's still funny.
Why
every
does-
time.
I don't
Like,
understand.
Yeah, that holds up well.
I don't understand why
That's
Phil
a good
hadn't
one.
seen it, because Phil loves Flight of the Conchords, so I don't know why Phil hadn't watched it, because Julian Clement's like a main character in it.
Because you know how I know fuck all about music, and you're like, how can you have never heard of this band or this song?
Yeah.
That's what it's like for Phil. We're like, there's so many movies, I'm like, oh, this movie's amazing, and I just look to him, and he's just got this blank face of like, I've never.
Also,
like, you
speaking
only
of,
watched, like,
see the opening to What We Did in the Shadows, the You're Dead song.
Yeah.
You're dead, it's so good.
so like all of the music in that film is so good.
See the bit when they're going out and Julian Clement's like, "This is a look I like to call dead but delicious."
I love like the main guy in it, the sort of guy that gets turned into a vampire.
The young
And he's
guy,
trying to like,
be cool.
yeah, he's got all these like mad tattoos and that, and he's just trying to like explain to his best pal that he's become a vampire and it's cool and stuff like that.
His
And
pal's the best.
Fucking
What's his pal called?
which Stuart, I
Stu,
think.
that's it.
He's
we
like
like
a mad
Stu.
IT guy.
We like Stu. Stu can stay.
The first time he shows them the internet and shit, and they're like watching the sunset on YouTube
Yeah, that's-
and all that kind of stuff, or it's just like, it's so good.
Taika Waititi
And
is
there's
so
one
class in
line
it.
in it where he's like, he goes up to the camera, he's like, "Can you stop filming? Can you not see there's been a fatal sunlight accident?"
when the really scary guy dies, the Salem's Lot dude.
Yeah. A fucking vampire hunter gets in. They were going to do a sequel to that about the werewolf characters, and I can't, they had like a funny name for
What
what
We Do
were
in the
gonna call it. I
Moonlight.
don't know what it was now. No, it was going to be like no, it was going to be called Werewolves. That was it.
Nice.
Ah,
Werewolves, not
I get it.
swearwolves.
Has anyone watched the TV show on BBC?
Nah, but apparently it's
No,
class, and
but-
it's also got Matt Berry in it, so it must be good.
but it's also got that guy, the phone jacker guy,
From it's got Phone Jacker guy, which I'm.
and
kinda
he's in
like,
phone.
Who's that?
Yeah,
Phone jacker guy still kicking a ball.
well, he's in.
he's still kicking a ball.
Wait, is Phone Jacker guy not the guy who does Celebrity Juice?
I thought he was
No,
the
that's-
Ministry of Television.
What did he
Keith
do
Lemon does
before?
Celebrity Juice.
That's the,
He did the
Post
thing with the
Selector.
Post Selector. That was what he did before. Yeah.
yeah.
The Face Jacker guy was also in Four Lions. If anyone's seen Four Lions.
Oh yeah, the Four Lines is so.
No, I've
class.
actually
Have you
not seen it.
that?
I've seen. I was
There's a
watching
bit
it
when
the other
they
day.
come out the house and they're shaking their heads, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "So the cameras can't see you. It makes it all blurry." So funny.
That is such a good film, man.
But I think that's one of them films where I think my pals, like they were really upset. They found it really funny, but I think I was too late to it. So at that point, I was kind of like, "There's no point seeing it now, watching it now, because I'm not like I'll get the jokes, but they're
You'll be going in pure telling the jokes, and they're like, "Thomas, what are you talking about?"
It's the same for
That's it,
everyone watched.
isn't it?
Everyone watched Father Ted once, or maybe even Still Game as well. All these things, the jokes have gone. So there's no point in me watching it now because
Have you not seen Father Ted?
it's past. No, I actually do
You
it.
know
No,
you can
that's
just watch it for your own enjoyment.
no.
I mean, it's not about everything, Thomas.
You don't have
Everything,
to come into school the next day and be like, "Oh, guy," like quoting the show, like
everything in life's not about generating power.
I just like the idea that Thomas, when he did have work, would walk into work and just start spouting out Still Game quotes of other Ted quotes. And people are like, "What the fuck are you?"
Aye, Thomas is sitting watching,
No.
watching it, taking
Sean
notes.
watches a lot of Father Ted and Still Game. Father Ted's funny. Still Game, something I just can't stand.
I watch it.
Oh,
Like,
I think it gets a bit shite.
I watch it. Like the newest ones are pish, but I watch Still Game maybe every 5 years. Get back into it.
Yeah.
Same as like the
I like Burniston though.
My Burniston's good.
Sounds funny.
Burniston's funny.
If it,
I've
Would you
been
like? Do
watching
you
a lot
like
of
Tuna
lit-
Fat? Like the old Tuna
yeah,
Fat?
yeah, Tuna Fat's
Never
class.
really watched it.
Tuna Fat's dino,
Oh,
man.
Tuna
I think
Fat
the
I
only
would say
Tuna
is
Fat,
better than Still Game. Hurley Doors.
Aye,
the only
Defo.
Tuna Fat I've watched is
They're all on
the
YouTube, I think.
Big Man compilations.
Oh yeah.
The big man is
They're so funny.
Tuna Fat's on. It's on Netflix.
There's it's on. I think it's on YouTube. My favourite is like the wee old woman that Karen Dunbar plays. Like she's in the shop and she's lonely. She's like,
Aye.
"Oh, son, why didn't you? How about after this, you come up to my house and we'll share a wee trifle together?"
That's what every time that like if I'm on Isla going home and like I always go and stay with my gran and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out and have a few beers tonight." She's like, "That's fine, son, I'll stay in with my wee individual fruit trifle." You're a rich Karen the bar. And that was like, see, when I was young, like any time that anyone was lying in the house, my dad would do a Karen the bar and be like, "I think I smell shite."
Right, Karen Dunbar was the OG Scottish lesbian before your Keegan Dugsdales and your
Nicola
Griff
Sturgeon.
Davidsons. Do you know what I
I
mean?
met Karen Dunbar outside Howlin' Wolf one night when I was really pissed, and she was with her friend because she was doing some theatre show, and she was not. No offence to Karen Dunbar, I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she wasn't that nice that night I met her.
Well, I
hope
went
she's
to
not
college with her.
Did you go up to her and say, "I
Partner's
smell
son?
shite"?
She was. I mean, I didn't play it very well because she was on the phone at the time, and I was just drunk and being a fucking.
Aye, what that
We
sounds
are
like,
so
Gavin,
bad.
is that Karen the Bar's had quite a nice reaction to you being a bell end. That seems like what's happened.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but I
met
I'm sorry.
Ford Kiernan on the subway once, and he was really nice.
I've
met the guy
I've got a
who
story about fucking. It's quite dirty. Can I say it in the podcast?
Aye,
Absolutely.
So my pal used to work in
I'm excited.
the Crown Plaza Hotel.
I have been there.
This relates back to a belt that's going to be
And,
The
great.
one next to the Hydro.
Aye, the very one. And he used to go in with hookers and that all the time, and he'd come out and they'd clean up his room and it'd be just covered in absolute spunk stains and all that. I thought he was a daffy bastard.
I can't wait for us to get sued by Ford Kiernan.
Oh, it's going to be excellent.
I mean, if Ford Keenan ever hears this and we get sued, that's going to be the greatest achievement of this podcast.
Aye, and then we'll have
It's going to be like a badge of honour.
Badge of
I mean,
honour.
now that I'm on the
well,
podcast, is there any listeners?
Yeah.
There's you. You listen, Thomas.
I think my wee brother listened ironically like 2 weeks ago.
That was nice of him.
Ironically is nice. We'll take ironically.
I mean,
I know that Ryan's
I wouldn't
grand listens
take.
to
I don't really mind getting slated off a lot of people, and I can take a fair badgering, but nothing hurts like a fucking Liam McGugan slating. When Liam comes at you, you know it's bad.
Aye. He's got a silver tongue.
He
a
does.
forked silver tongue.
And his hair looks great all the time. Apparently.
I saw the other day, it looks class. How's he getting his hair done all the time?
He just sends out the pictures that you want him to see.
I
that
saw
he
him in the
wants you to
flesh.
see. Oh, I saw you did. Because I don't know. Well, he's up to something, man. He's got a good game.
He's got your mod
He
in it.
looks good. Aye, I think my mod did do it, but like, do you know what right? I know I'm moving on for Liam here, but my dad refuses to give me a 0,
Why?
which I think's pish. Don't know. He's like, oh son, I'll not give you a 0.
Why are you not
I'm not doing that.
Why are you also not cutting your own hair?
Why would I cut my own hair if I get my dad to do it?
Because your dad's refusing, so do it yourself.
But do is the back?
Or
How
Connor,
you doing the back?
why don't you see for a day, Connor? Why don't you just shave a 0 down the middle of your head and you'd be like, look, Dad, you can look at this for the rest of the lockdown, or you can just finish it.
Well, it's quite. See, the thing is, it's quite a nice kind of bonding thing when my dad shaves my hair, so I like it,
Aye.
and I want to keep that going. But at the same time, just get a 0, man. Like, what is that 2? What is that 2 all over? I mean, I think I kind of get where he's coming from. He's like, oh, you know, make the most of your hair while you've got it. But I've not got it.
I would say be careful, because I asked my dad to shave my head and I've not seen him since I was 6. So I don't know. It's a dangerous game. You could just pack a suitcase and walk out.
What? So you're trying to say at 5 years old you asked your dad to shave your head and he's like, I'm just going to the shop for some cigarettes. Gone.
That was it.
Did your dad have an excuse, or
got some
did you know he was going, or did he get an Irish goodbye?
yeah.
No.
No, I was watching Robot Wars. It was class.
Can you watch it?
Good way to go.
Can you watch it now, or
I can watch Robot Wars now. It doesn't bring back flashbacks.
No.
It's other things.
you're watching
another comedian,
Pacific Rim in the cinema, fucking greeting?
My dad used to love to do big speeches before we went out to fight the aliens. But no, I'm not going to make the joke I was about to make.
Earlier, Thomas was talking about you obviously going back to Inglorious Bastards, but you just watch it as like a comfort film. Do you think you've got a comfort film, Connor? If you're like, you've just made your tea, it's getting cold, and you're like, fuck, I need to watch something while I'm eating this right now. What's your stick on film?
A comfort film.
Aye, just something just whack
I
on.
mean, when I was a wee guy, I used to watch like Hot Fuzz every week, like every Friday before I went to bed, or as I was falling asleep, and it was just kind of music to my ears.
Fair.
But
Hot Fuzz is a great choice because it's just so perfect from beginning to end.
Aye.
Like every single scene, there's something joyous to fucking quote and just laugh at. Like, what's that quote you were doing a couple of days back, Ryan? In fact, no, it was like 3 weeks ago.
I quote Hot Fuzz a lot.
I mean, there's a lot of Hot Fuzz quotes to go right.
Aye.
that's a fair share.
Is one of Olivia Colman's ones,
It's like, oh, Sergeant
it's
Angel,
the-
get a look at his arse.
or the one where he's shooting a gun up in the air. That was it.
Have you ever shot your gun up in the air and not gone, ah? No, I have not shot my gun up in the air and gone, ah.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz is a movie. Like anytime it's on TV or anything, I just stop and just watch the
one
rest
I
of
laugh
it.
at most in Hot Fuzz is when they're walking home from the pub with that guy and they look at the guy and they're like, hey, look, we did get a little drunk.
Nah, I think the best Hot Fuzz quote is, "You've got a mustache." I know.
And do you know what the best bit about that is like it's literally the biggest underuse of Paddy Considine's acting skills ever.
The one that Gary always loves is when it's Nick Frost is like doing something and then a whole filing cabinet just comes at the door and hits him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, he did it so sudden you never see it coming.
Do you reckon you've got has your taste changed since you got older, Connor, or is it still Hot Fuzz?
Hot Fuzz is a go-to, man. But I don't really look for films for comfort anymore.
No?
Probably more, I don't know,
Poetry.
telly or
Telly's I
Teletubbies.
think on telly's, like I was talking about this the other day, like why is TV so popular now, and I think it's just a bit more suited to folks' lives. Like you're always doing something or there's always shit going on. Like sitting down to watch a TV show is less of a commitment than sitting down to watch a movie. You know what I mean? Like so
During lockdown,
during
lockdown, Phil and I have just been watching Community, just sticking on episodes of Community because it's comfortable, it's easy.
That's gone completely against what I've just said, Gavin, because I was just talking about our general lives in society, which don't count in this situation. Like now you actually have time to watch films.
I would come home from like work and like I get home at like 12 o'clock at night. I'm like hungry, I'm tired. I stick a pizza on and stick on episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and just watch that, have some food and just barrel my way through the seasons. Does that work for you, Ryan? You happier now?
Not really.
See, watching Community again.
Thanks.
I watched it before and I do like it. But see, looking back now, the only Community episodes I like are the good ones.
The good
like you know your paintball ones, your like the
Flora's lava.
yeah, exactly, like them ones, and then there's the one with the Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
Like
I've never
all them
seen
type of
Community.
ones. Like basically the ones that are not about the college. Like them ones are good.
I mean,
The other ones are just kind of
we watched like season 2 and 3 and then just skipped 4 obviously and then went to
Yeah.
season 5, and at like the end of season 3 when they get kicked out of the college and they go to like therapy and stuff like that was good. And then we just
Yeah.
watched the episode in season 5 where Pierce they go to Pierce's funeral and then he does their will and they all get their stuff from Pierce, stuff like that, but they're just sitting around and like it's so
But I just think
snappy and fast.
in that, like, I just really hate the what's his name, the Joe McHale guy. Like as a main character, I just don't think he's not.
Like with the self-righteous speeches at
Well,
the
just
end.
like for a main character, because he is obviously the main character of it, but he's just not. I just hate him.
You want Troy, don't you?
Yeah, but then obviously cause I started watching season 6 again, then you realise without Troy, Abed is just
Yeah.
odd. Like
Is
it's
Troy
just,
Doesn't
Childish
work
Gambino?
at all.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause he left in season 5.
Talking about self-righteous speeches, I think I said last week I was watching, like recently I've been watching Scrubs again, to you and to Ryan and Thomas.
Aye.
And I was watching a couple like during the week, and like, basically every episode finishes with a kind of like a monologue.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, I think when I watched it when I was a wee guy, I was kind of maybe like 15, 16, and I can't remember how many of those monologues that I paraphrased like as a conclusion for like one of my higher English essays.
I think because Scrubs is. I think every time I sat and watched Scrubs, every episode in the middle, I would get to the point where I'm like, why the fuck am I watching this? This is shite. And then by the time it gets to the end, it's like there's a big monologue and there's like an old 2000s rock song playing. I'm like, this is why I'm fucking watching this. This is class.
And there's a wee montage of like
Aye.
great things happening. Everyone
Mate,
like
the best episode where fucking Dr. Cox, he's looking for a transplant. He's got three people that need a transplant, and then he gives them all their organs that they need, but they ended up the person that gave them the transplant accidentally had rabies.
Yep.
And then they have the fray playing over it. How do you say it? It's just so good.
That's
he
so
wasn't about to
touching,
die,
man.
newbie, was he? And then he
Mate,
just fucking walks out.
And he goes mental and he
I
turns
love
into a bit
Scrubs.
of
Scrubs is
even
easily
more of
one
an
of my
alky.
favourite.
That's class.
I think
great.
I think it's one I've not paid enough attention to.
Scrubs and Malcolm in the Middle are the only TV shows that I've watched from my youth that I still think.
Still good.
They still
I've never
still
seen
make it out.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm
Have you
Middle's
not?
class, man.
Malcolm Middle is so that's
The dad in Malcolm Middle, Bryan Cranston, Malcolm Middle is unreal, man.
aye.
He's every dad, just
Yeah,
personified.
he's my dad.
I remember that weird stage where, like, for me, like, there was a bit where TV just got class, and it was kind of like when I was maybe 17, 18. Like, I watched Dexter was the first thing I watched, and I'm like I missed
Dexter, Breaking Bad, Game of
obviously
Thrones.
Dexter, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones was class, but then things were hidden subtly before that, like The Sopranos and The Wire and stuff.
Yeah.
And they kind of came about, but they were a real rarity before that. But as soon as like Game of Thrones, Dexter, Breaking Bad came out, TV just got fucking brilliant.
The golden age of television
Yeah, absolutely.
that happened
To be fair, I didn't.
coincide with the golden age of streaming.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't watch.
true.
I didn't watch Breaking Bad when it came out, but I only seen it when. Like I moved. That's when I went to uni in 2013. I watched all 5 seasons in a
Same.
few months.
I watched-
like I didn't watch it from the
I
start.
watched all 5 seasons on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. I remember
In fact,
I was watching it and like the last episode was coming out in a week, and I had the whole of season 5 or 6, 5 I think it was, to come out. Like I know I had to watch all of it before the last episode came out, and I probably had loads of college work to do, and I just didn't do it. I just watched all of Breaking Bad.
And then Thomas stole all of his dissertation closing outs from Breaking Bad. And just saying, I am the one who knocks. And his lecture's like, what the fuck does this have to do with business management?
Thomas is
Aye, I was typing down random.
on the craft beer industry. He's like, when it comes to craft beer, I am the danger. I am the one who knocks. And it's like, what?
And the lecturer is like,
It's like,
I get it.
The lecturer's like, Thomas, we understand why you've written bitch at the end of every sentence.
this is quite long already. So we're going to bring this episode to a close with... Well, this has been something. If you're hearing this right now, congratulations. Something came out of this. I've somehow made this edit together.
I actually can't
This was
remember-
Ryan's idea.
I can't remember the last movie we talked about.
Yeah, but there was a bit of a break. We came
we
back from
finish on a high?
that the smoke break, and
What's
we
your
can
favourite
finish with
film?
a...
What's it like? You said your favourite films are Django and Inglorious Bastard, Thomas.
No, I didn't say
Exactly.
my favourite films. I just said.
What
I
are your
watched
favourite?
them.
What are your favourite films, Thomas?
I mean, it's-
No, Gavin.
I was just going to say, like, we did that episode where people sent in their movies of the decade.
Oh yeah, we had.
And Thomas-
That was of the
I was on
decade.
that.
We had of the decade. What about, was it like, are your favourite films of the decade of all time? Are they the same?
What did I say? I think I said Grand Budapest. I think I said a couple because no one else talked
You
about
said
them. So I
Grand
wanted to do that.
Budapest. You said Inside Llewyn
Inside
Davis.
And Ex Machina, maybe?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I mean, the only films I'm adding on to that, Grand Budapest is up there, Prestige, The Warriors.
I think The Prestige is one of the best films.
So
of all
good.
time.
So good.
Yeah, Prestige is 100% one of
The
my...
Prestige is, aye.
Easily
It's
was
just
the only film
so
I wish I
juicy.
could go back. I wish
So
I could
juicy.
go back and watch it again.
Aye, for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because
then,
it's a
then
movie
you
like...
always just get someone who hasn't seen it and you're like, come we'll watch it.
Wait,
Aye.
for me, that's Phil. I'm going to show Phil that, and he's just going to be like, what? Christian Bale?
Whomst?
Twice? Connor, what are some of your favourite movies of all time?
My favourite film is Ants.
Ants.
That's the best film I think
With
that's ever been
Sylvester
made.
Stallone and
Connor,
Woody Allen?
Connor, that's not even the second best Ants film that came out that year.
Oh, you get that? Are you trying to say A Bug's Life is better than Ants?
Bugs Life is
100%.
better than
100%.
Ants.
Oh, fuck off,
100%.
mate. You Disney weeb. Get to fuck.
Got Kevin Spacey in it. And what more could you
No.
ask for?
Do you know they were initially supposed to be one film?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the same film, and then Woody Allen's version, right, I get it, he's a pedo, he's a bad cunt, but he's
But also,
obviously funnier.
Kevin Spacey's in A Bug's Life, so it doesn't really matter. They can
Oh yeah,
equal
so
each
fuck
other
it,
out.
yeah, exactly, doesn't matter. But like the Woody Allen version was too like racy for Disney, so they pulled. So Woody Allen was like, "Oh fuck it, I'll go and make it with DreamWorks." And it's way better. You can watch that as an adult, and there's like so much more funny shit that's going on.
It was the same with
It's
Shrek,
all
wasn't
about-
it? Disney was meant to make Shrek, and then they refused
Mate,
to.
why we need to stop talking about ants here?
Sorry.
We're not finished with ants. Let Connor have his time to talk about ants.
It's just, it's class, man. It's like, it's about this guy who's a pure, like, he's supposed to be like a drone and a worker, but then he just like fucks off
He
and shags a
wants to
princess.
step outside of the norm,
Yeah,
be
and
his
then
own person.
Sylvester
obviously-
Stallone shags a sexy wee ant as well. But it's all good.
Wait, so
Could
obviously,
we saw
if A Bug's Life is about communism, what's ants? Oh no, here we go.
A Bug's Life isn't about communism. I don't think. What,
I think it's got.
A
It's
Bug's
got.
Life is about like, oh, there's some shitty grasshoppers over there.
Aye.
Stop bullying
I
us,
think
big grasshoppers. But like with ants, it's like the real problem isn't like someone else. It's in the colony. It's the superiors.
If ants is more communism than
ants
Bug's
is
Life.
more
for
about
sure.
communism. Yeah.
Sorry, I mean Bug's Life was about capitalism. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
right.
you're
know the
there.
difference.
I don't know if Bug's Life is necessarily about capitalism. I think it's just about
I think it's.
Capitalism.
Do you know what? Do you know what A Bug's Life is about? Bugs.
a Bug's Life.
The scene at the end of Bug's Life when the rain starts, terrifying. And great to look at.
just like yourself, Gavin.
What's the scene?
Ants,
Hey.
Ants has some voice cast. It has not just Woody Allen and Sylvester Stallone. It also has Christopher Walken and some other people. Who I'll find right now because I'm not allowed to cheat
Because you're not on
internet.
Google.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hold on. It's just it's a bit more like it's just a bit less Disney.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean,
But the ants also
The
look
animation-
fucking mental.
yet the animation's not great. It's
It doesn't hold up.
no, it's rough to look
I
at.
like it.
It's
I think
very
it's quite
blocky.
sorta-
It's very
I like the
PS1
colours.
era.
I think they don't really change much. It's quite dark.
And to be fair,
Most
like
of it's underground.
apart from Kevin Spacey, A Bug's Life doesn't really have any big actors in it.
But you don't need a big actor.
No, I know, but like, it's weird that like Woody Allen did fuck Disney quite a lot with that. He's like, I'm gonna take this film and I'm probably
It's
gonna.
not the
I'm
only
gonna
thing
get.
Woody Allen fucked.
Oh God.
What? There's nothing wrong with saying that. He's a grown man who has sexual
Yeah, but we know
intercourse.
that's not what you meant, isn't it?
Danny Glover, Gene Hackman, Jennifer
Thank you for the
Lopez,
save there, Connor. Oh wait, if Ants has got Gene Hackman, then Ants is definitely
Sylvester
better. 'Cause
Stallone,
Gene Hackman
Sharon
is the boss.
Stone, Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Ants has got a way better cast. I think A Bug's Life has got
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey
I'm telling you,
and
Ants is a superior film.
I'm
Not
pretty sure
just to
that-
A Bug's Life, but to most other films as well.
is that
It's
your
hilarious.
that's your
It's-
favourite film, Connor?
I remember watching it when I was a wee guy and thinking this is shite. And then my
You went
uncle
back
was
to it
pure
more.
laughing at it. And I was like, why do you think that's funny? And then I watched it again when I was a bit older. It's class. There's just,
Well,
it's just the way the guy says, it's for the good of the colony. And then,
Was that a Christopher Walken impression?
nah,
That was it.
No.
That was Sharon Stone.
that wasn't.
Well, I can't think of any better
I feel-
movie to end on
No, I feel like
than the movie Ants.
I feel like Connor came in, talked about Ants, and we were all three of us went against him, and the boy fucking fought his corner, and now we're all on
He
board
did.
with Ants.
I reckon give it a rewatch. It's like there's bits in it. Right, there's this scene right where they're like dancing, and it's like they basically are like it's 6 o'clock. It's time to do the dance, and they're all doing this like stupid dance the same way. And then Woody Allen's character's like, "Do you ever feel like doing it a little bit different?" to the Queen, and they start like spinning her around, and they're like, "Oh, what you doing? Dancing differently than the way you're supposed to." It's class.
it's like Kevin Bacon's Footloose. That's not actually like Kevin Bacon's Footloose.
Yeah, Kevin
Shut
Bacon didn't write and direct Footloose, Gavin.
No, I meant in terms of the dancing, but sure.
No, it's not at all.
I know.
What's the premise
Which one?
on Footloose? Remember when all those films came out, like Grease, Dirty Dancing, Footloose, and it was just like
Footloose is all about no, the kids shouldn't be doing such raunchy, sexy dancing.
yeah, but
I
so
thought
is
it was about
Dirty
The Gay
Dancing.
Gordon.
I thought it was about a dislocated ankle.
And then there was also what was the one about
Okay.
the Jets and the Sharks?
Oh,
West Side Story.
no.
Jet v Sharks.
West Side Story.
West Side Story.
West Side Story is a different league to those films one.
I think it's better.
Yeah, West Side Story is.
And plus it's 60s,
Like-
it's like way before.
Yeah, true. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, it's now the third time I'm going to try and end this podcast. So, this has been a weird kind of drunk episode of the Meandering Movie Podcast with two of your standards, that being obviously me
I'm not a
and Ryan,
fucking
but we had our
standard.
two pals.
I'm several ranks your superior.
Okay, you're the big boy. You're the big man. You're the chief. But we also had our friends Thomas and Connor join us for this episode. We might do this again if it worked out. Hopefully it did work out, because I kind of had fun. I hope you had fun as well.
Thanks a lot, guys.
And I'll just, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Maybe by next time, Thomas, you could maybe have seen something else other than Wedding Crashers to 20
I feel
minutes.
like this is actual. This has put me in the wrong light because I do watch decent films. I don't just watch Inglorious Bastards.
All right,
He watches Django as well.
and Grand Budapest Hotel.
We'll maybe get you back on at some point to defend your honour in terms of movies.
Maybe.
But
Deal.
in the meantime, this has been the Meandering Movie Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Music is life.
It's meandering movies, listening to Gary, Ryan, and Gavin. It's all about films, but goes off course. Will there be arguments? Of course, 'cause everyone knows their lives are dull and they have nothing else to talk about.